Good afternoon, Colony. My name's NWEColonist. Welcome back a year later. Link had some other issues to deal with, but we're finally back, finally continuing our Legend of Zelda playthrough. I really just didn't either have the time or had no inspiration to continue playing the game. Sorry, but not sorry. You know, I have things to do in my life. But in any event, instead of, complaining about not doing things, we are doing things. Today we take on the Dark Forest, which we've been wanting to take on for some time now, but we never really got the chance to do it. So here we go. We just finished a field travel video, got the 3 medallions, as well as the flute, which I just used to get back to Link's house, which is just easier for me so I can get to the Dark World, so we can just get to the Dark Forest faster. Sorry it took so long. I've just had a lot of other things on my mind and a lot of other things on my plate, so it's just kind of like getting, it's tough to get to everything. It's just, that's the way life is you want to do everything, but you just can't sometimes. So, we are going to get to the Dark Forest. We had the reason I chose to go there is because we needed to be in the Dark World as we entered the forest, because there's no portal at the forest itself, so we got to find a way to get there instead. Now, I believe we've already crossed this plane before, if I'm not mistaken, but we're going to go ahead and cross through there using the hook shot, and we're just going to dodge this guy. I'm really in no mood to fight him. We already have enough bombs, which I know is exactly what I'd get, so we're just going to skirt across here, and we're going to continue skirting across here, and now we're going to, oh, there's another spaghetti bag, which we don't need. Actually, this is not where I want to go. This is what I messed up in last time. And more people coming at me, and I guess I'll kill them. By the way, side tangent, why would something that's muffled like that, like what their spears is like, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a bag at the end of the spear, which I don't know how that's supposed to damage you. But I guess the steer in the Dark World aren't really too concerned about it. They figure, well, if we just swarm his ass, we'll get him. Now, here's another spaghetti guy. I'm gonna go ahead and take him out. And, ooh, money. Oh, I thought that was more than it was. I thought that was a bigger one of those bags, but it is apparently not. And now we're gonna go ahead and attack this guy. Ha ha ha. Yay, money. Now, continuing on. Now, here's a fun fact. You don't necessarily have to take on the Dark Forest third. You can actually complete the 4th and the 6th levels. The 4th and 6th dungeons before you even attempt this place. I don't recommend doing that, primarily because you're putting yourself at risk for a lot of pain, and the items that you get in the other dungeons are significantly helpful. Holy crap. And now I'm being bombarded by several items here. I forgot about those hands that come down and attack you. Now, if you get caught by one of those, you end up going back to the beginning. Now, these guys, these zombies, or the mummies, as it were, they're going to be a lot easier to handle when you get the item from this place, but we're not going to get that just yet. We have to go a little ways. Now, I may split this up into 2 parts. I'm not really sure. Depends on how long it takes for me to get through. Get this treasure chest. That's a key. We're going to need that later. And I'm not going to demonstrate what happens when you get attacked by one of those things. I'd just rather it not happen. But if you're playing this game along with your friends, or if you're trying to do a walkthrough yourself, and this is the first time that you've ever played this game, and you're dumb like me and keep hitting the stupid buttons and keep dying, those goddamn spikes and the bouncy things. Now, this door, if I'm not mistaken, is locked. Obviously, you can't get in that way. Now, here's the key to this place. Well, that was a lucky bounce. This place, you gotta keep moving. There's a lot of movement that you need to do, and that was a nice job on my behalf, getting rid of him. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these hands come at you basically in every room. And there we go, we got the map. You see your current position and the rest of the dungeon. Yeah, you know the drill at this point. And I keep running into those, but this is a little tougher to handle, but nicely done on my part, getting rid of that red electric, whatever you call it, like that floating jellyfish. And now that didn't help at all, because now I have to go somewhere else. And the difficult thing with the forest is that you gotta move around a lot. There's a lot of like entering and exiting that takes place. Now, we went down that hole this first time. Now, we can go through this hole the second time, even though I ran into one of those steer. And this is actually the spot that we were trying to get to and couldn't a second ago. A ferry certainly helps our chances. Now it looks like we have a bombable wall, so we'll go ahead and take that out. And I don't know what I want to use after that, but now you can attack these grasses. That's going to be important later on if I'm not mistaken, but I very well could be mistaken. So I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be beneficial just yet. Okay, now before we actually get to that, we need to hit on this these Star of David platforms with the two eyes on it, kind of taking a page out of Mario's book. Now, what this will do is this is going to get us here, so that explodes. And when we get down here, this is where we get the big item. But we can't get that yet because we need the big key, obviously. And now I'm going to use this hook shot, get myself over here. I thought there was actually more to that, but there wasn't. So we will be back here before the day is out, for sure. And now you can pick up a bunch of these. Here's an interesting fact. Anytime that you take one of these skull pots, the ball, as you can see, only revolves around what it actually can revolve around. So, if you take all of them, it just gets this little mini circle, no harm done to you whatsoever. And now we're going to have to take this and we're going to have to go back from whence we came. So here we are back out here. And like I said, there's a lot of movement in this one. This is a big, a lot of entering and exiting, which is why this one takes so long. Because you have to do that a lot. Now we're going down this spot. Completely new area, still the same dungeon. Now we're taking out one of these, tentacle domed pieces of shit. And this one's a lot easier to handle. These guys, these guys are their own worst enemies. And now going with the fire, gonna die, oh god. And now more fireballs. And now we can get through to here with a lot of dodging. Now these red guys, which take 1,000 times longer to kill than their blue counterparts. And again, typical game logic. Let's just make a palette change and make the guy more formidable. But you know what? It works. So I'm not going to decry it. And oddly enough, we haven't seen many hands lately. It was only in that one room, so I guess I was mistaken in that respect. There's the compass, where we can pinpoint the dungeon's evil master, but comes at a price, as you see all the holes that have filled up here. And we're going to try and just kind of escape our way out of this mess and see what we can get further up. And we'll move up this time. We are going to have to go to the right. We do need a key. Now this room, I know for a fact, has the hands come down. So we got to be careful here. Anytime you see that hole, that dark spot hovering above you, that's when you need to get the hell out of Dodge. There's a key, and see, just as I say that, here comes Mr. Orange Hand, or whatever the hell you call him. It's a pain in the ass. That's really the only thing I call it. And maybe I'll demonstrate what happens, maybe I won't. I'm really not in the mood to tell you the truth. But I want to fight these two guys. But I have to contend with this guy all the time, so it's important to keep your wits about you in this dungeon more so than any other dungeon. Because this is the dungeon where that could hurt you the most, and now I used the key in a place I didn't want to use it, but it's okay. Because there's no dungeon where there's more keys than there are... Oh, that's actually the same door. So, that was actually a fruitful endeavor after all. But we don't need to go back there just yet. We're going to come back to the other room. It seems like those holes do not go away, and I almost just tripped and fell into one, dodging these goddamn fireballs. Again, taking a page out of Mario's book. It's kind of like they're the same series, or, well, they're not the same series, but they're from the same creator. Now, we're not even going to bother with the mummies at this point. I think we are at the stage where we just need to get out of here, go through another door, which is where we're going to head through. So here we are back outside in the dark forest. And getting rid of these so stupid spaghetti bag monsters, which in just a couple of hits, no trouble at all. Now we're going to move into this one, which is not falling through a hole, but going through a tusked skull. And here we are. Need that big key, but obviously have these mummies to deal with. Oh, and look, it's our friendly neighborhood hand. And maybe I'll demonstrate, because I really have nothing to lose here. Maybe I'll demonstrate what happens, just so you see. Because what happens is they bring you to the beginning. If that's really what you need to see. I'll show you in a second here. I just wanted to kill everybody. What's gonna end up happening is I'm gonna bring this and pop it in there. But let's just show you what happens if you get caught. Oh no, I got caught. What do I do now? They just bring you back here. All the monsters respawn. It's just a big pain in the ass. It's more of a pain in the ass when you actually are like halfway through the dungeon, and then it brings you back to the beginning, because it's just like a waste of time. But I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen, so I can actually just give you the quality programming you deserve, not like the last time when I died, which is like, yeah, that's a good mark of somebody who really should be doing a walkthrough, somebody who's messing up enough to where he actually dies in the middle of his walkthrough. That's showing a lot of skill right there. And okay, now I gotta get further past this. Now the trouble with this is that these guys aren't gonna stop, and I will say if you do kill the hand, it won't appear for a couple minutes. But then something like that could happen where you can walk into it, and here we are contesting with people again. So just as I say that's not gonna happen to me, look what happens to me. And I have had pretty much every sort of way that you can get hit by those happen. Like, I've been hit into it once, and I'm not gonna let that happen again. And this guy just needs to die. Here we go. And props to me for keeping healthy. Screw you, hand. And we're gonna bring this, we gotta move it down, gotta move it over. And as soon as this guy shows up, we're gonna stop that from happening. And gotta keep moving. There we go. Alright, now let's wait for another guy to show up, kill it, and I'm sure we're gonna have to deal with one more of these before we actually go. There we go. Actually, oh, I made it. Cool. Alright, now these guys do not go away. This is really the area where they just do not leave you alone. And I can't wait to get my sword tempered, but we're gonna have to wait for that, which makes your sword that much stronger. And luckily I've been keeping my health high, so I won't have to contend. Alright, there's the big key. Nice job. Not gonna get hit by the hand or the bunny creator, or whatever the hell that's called, but it's basically this magic. If it hasn't happened to me yet, it probably will happen to me pretty soon. Basically that turns you back into the bunny that you are when you first enter the Dark World. It's for a limited time. It's a finite damage, but got that bombable wall that we're taking care of, which can get you health, which you really, well, not even health, it's magic power. We haven't used magic yet in this dungeon, but soon enough, we will contend with it for sure. And another hand, not going to deal with it. I just like parting the grass. That's just one of those fun things that I like to do. Now we're in this room. This is a new room for us. And now we're trying to get rid of that before we get bounced into the fireball wall. And this is for another key. That's for another time. We got to go back. We're actually not ready to be here yet. So we're going to go back where we were. There's the key. And we'll contend with all of this later. So we're going to go back to where we were because we still need to get the treasure from this dungeon, which we have to do. We have to go back into the first place. I think there's like 3 parts to this, if like 3 actual dungeons in this one dungeon. You just have to enter and exit a lot. That's just how the game works. It's annoying, it's tedious, and it's time consuming, and that's just the way they like to screw with you in this game. I don't want to deal with another frickin' spaghetti dude, so I'm not even gonna. We're just gonna go ahead. Oh yeah, I gotta hit the Star of David thing. Oh, okay. I guess that bomb dude will just kick me back in there again, not once but twice. Just being an annoying ass piece of garbage. And now, there we go. Now we're gonna go get our main treasure of the evening. After taking out more of these bouncy snails, or whatever they call them. See, I haven't been paying attention. Okay, fire rod. And now we get to enter and exit again. And this time I'm gonna get hit twice by these stupid jellyfish, electro jellyfish. And now we're back out of the Tuscan skull. That was one rupee. See, in this light, it looks like it's more than that. And you know what I hate about these spaghetti bag things? Is they take so much health from you. They're just not fair. It's mean, it's malicious, and it's like, why bother? But not for me to decide, obviously. Now that we have the fire rod, we're gonna have things happen a little bit better. The fire rod is extremely helpful in this scenario, because we're going to go ahead and take that guy out. What we need to do is we need to hook shot our way. Actually, no, we don't need to hook shot our way. We need to drop in so we can actually get things taken care of. Now, there are two ways you can go. The first is to get to the actual dungeon, which is that nasty dude to your left. That was 20 rupees, which I've been waiting for some time. It doesn't help that I'm red-green colorblind as well, so, like, a red rupee looks like a green rupee. But, which makes me excited sometimes and then just disappointed other times. Alright, now we're up here, and this is the same room we were in a couple seconds ago. Here comes Mr. Hand Bullshit again, and knock down another dude. And there are no more places to go, and I will kill as many of these as I possibly can, because I really do hate those hands. And I would like to say, I wish that this were the only place we see them, but unfortunately it is not. And now this really doesn't have much value to it. If I recall correctly, there's really no reason for us to do this. But we're gonna stay alive. Yeah, there's really nothing here, unless there's nothing really to gain from that, but you get some extra rupees. And oh, that was nice. I hit the blue orbed tentacle douche, and as a result, I get hit by one of those fantastic orange hands. So you can see why this temple is quite frustrating. But we're going to keep on going here, keep on trucking, and we're actually not too far from the end, so that's thankful. But you know what I might do is I might make this a two-parter, because we're getting close to we are getting close to the end, but we also have another space to go. Another rupee. Now, you need the fire rod. I'll tell you why you need the fire rod to finish this, because here we are in this giant skull snake thing. I'm not really sure what to even call it, but you need the fire rod to go do explosions. Here we are, opening up, and you see, I don't know why he opened his eyes, because I just ignited flames in him, but we got the compass, we got the map, and we got the fire rod. It's time to go kick some ass. So we are going to go in here and finish the Dark Forest and get this finally over with. And if by chance I have decided to link these two videos together, because there was just not enough time on this, welcome back to the same video that you were seeing a second ago, but it's now with this. Now this part is difficult because there's really no telling where you can go and can't go. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but luckily for us, I believe that for the most part we are done with having to contend with the hands, or at least for now we are, as I try and figure out where the hell we're going. Alrighty, here we go. And now we're back into this room, and this room is a little harder to manipulate, but we will get it done. Now the fire rod, let's show you the power of the fire rod. Takes out these extremely difficult to beat zombies in one hit, because, you know, you're setting them on fire. And the problem with these zombies is they love following you around, so we're gonna go ahead and kill them when they get here. And see, oh, there's one of those things again, one of those guys that turns you into the bunny. And I'm waiting for this guy to turn his ass around so I can kill him. There we go. Oh, and he was thoughtful enough to get me a punch of magic. This is the key that we need so we can move on and finally take out that motherfucker, and so he can get what he deserves. The boss in this guy, you don't need the fire rod to beat him, but the fire rod is definitely helpful in taking him out. Kind of like the last two guys that, well, not the last two, but kind of like the, okay, who could I use? Kind of, there's no need to use the moon pearl when facing the giant third guy in the third pendant, or you don't need the second item in the second pendant to beat him. That's also going to be the case in the Thieves' Temple, and just as I say that we don't have to contend with the hands, I forget, oh wait, yes we do. And this one's difficult because you have to hit a bunch of Stars of David and try and avoid these suckers, both the electric jellyfish and the orange hands. And now this is a little tough to do because this is going to require a lot of work with the fire rod. Because what we need to do is we need to have all four of the lamps lit in order for us to enter the door. So we gotta go here, we gotta go here, we gotta go here and hope it doesn't close on us, but it did. So we're gonna go here, and now hopefully we'll be able to get over there in time. Yes, we are. So that was actually a little easier than I anticipated. Here comes another one of those suckers, and he got us into the bunny this time. So we're just gonna have to walk around until that's completed. There we go. Fire rod, long distance fire rod, which I have to say was pretty decent aim. And now we're gonna have to cut this grass. Going a full-on landscaper here. Link in his spare time has been doing a lot of landscaping apparently. And looks like it must be the last set of grass. I just don't want to fight this hand, or I don't want to get caught by this hand. But we're gonna have to contend with that one more time if I'm not mistaken. And now we're going for another set of fire stuff. And I was really hoping that the fire rod was gonna work on that dude, but it did not. But it did work on this dude, who has our key, which we need. Now we're running out of energy. We have no more magic power. We're about halfway full of life points. But we are finally here at the boss. So there's a little magic. There's that. And you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to use a blue potion here just to kind of gear ourselves up. Now, I can safely say we are officially done with having to deal with the bull, the hands taking us out and bringing us back to the beginning. You saw it happen twice. Once deliberately. Well, actually, no, you saw it 3 times. Once deliberately, twice not. You could use the Bombos Medallion in this, but really the Fire Rod is what we're going to want. So let's go and take this boss out. And here we are, got this nice little moth dude. Kind of looks like Squidward. So we're going to go with the Squidward moth. Now, again, you can use the Master Sword in this endeavor, but I find it easier, and you actually deal more damage if you actually use the Fire Rod rather than the Master Sword. Both work, because see, I'm out of energy now, but I'm still kicking his ass for the most part. And we're going to keep going, and the Master Sword fighting. The hardest part of this was really dealing with all of the spikes. The shots that he makes really aren't that difficult, so long as you know your positioning. But he is vanquished, the Squidward moth is gone. Here we go, 3rd crystal. Time to hear another boring lecture from your friendly neighborhood princesses who didn't have enough intestinal fortitude to escape a Ganon's magic. So, let's hear what Princess number 3 has to say in 16-bit.
Oh, Colony, because of you, I can escape from them clutches of their evil monsters. Thank y'all. Do you know what the prophecy of the Great Cataclysm?
I've never heard of it.
This is the way I heard it.
Oh, so it's not even your story. This is the way it was told to you. So I shouldn't believe you.
If a person who has an evil heart gets the Triforce shut up, a hero is destined to appear. And he alone must face the person who began the Great Cataclysm.
I'm guessing that must mean Ganondorf or someone?
If the evil one destroys the hero, nothing can save the world from his wicked reign. Only a person of the Knights of Hyrule,
As opposed to the Knights of Columbus, naturally.
who protected the royalty of Hylia, can become the hero.
God, so many ellipsis points.
You are of the bloodline, aren't you? Then you must rescue Zelda without fail. Did you understand?
Yes, I do not want to see that again.
May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
Well, thank you very much, Princess. That was strange enough. But we are finished with the Dark Forest. And we are finally back, and we're finally doing everything. So, with that said, thank you very much for watching. We will be attacking the Thieves' Temple next. So my name is NWEColonist. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.